Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mikey Lochner, and I am the current chair of the San Diego Health Services HIV Planning Group. And I want to thank you for being with us to acknowledge the awardees for the 32nd Dr. A. Brad Truax Award on World AIDS Day. This is a special time to thank and celebrate those who work with and are vulnerable to and live with HIV in the communities of San Diego County. December 1st, or World AIDS Day, is a day to unite in the fight to end the HIV epidemic, support people living with HIV, and honor those who have lost their lives. The international theme this year is End Inequalities, End AIDS. This highlights the urgent need to end the inequalities that drive AIDS and other pandemics around the world. Without bold action against inequalities, the world risks missing the targets to end AIDS by 2030, as well as a prolonged COVID-19 pandemic and a spiraling social and economic crisis. 40 years since the first AIDS cases were reported, HIV still threatens the world. Today, the world is off track from delivering on the shared commitment to end AIDS by 2030, not because of a lack of knowledge or tools to beat AIDS, but because of structural inequalities that obstruct proven solutions to HIV prevention and treatment. We are joined by Lauren Brookshire, Assistant Medical Service Administrator of the HIV, STD, and Hepatitis Branch of Public Health Service. Our 31st Truax Award recipient, Jim Dunn, and other previous Truax Award recipients, Dan O'Shea, 1991, Mary Cafferty, 2003, Liz Johnson, 2011, Jay Reed, 2018, and myself, 2014. I now would like to introduce Lauren Brookshire.
Thank you, Mikey, and good afternoon, everyone. It is such an honor to be here with you all. As we did last year, we are gathering virtually again to continue keeping our community safe from COVID-19. We are happy to share some of the past Truax Award works of arts that represent many hours, weeks, months, and years of dedicated and committed service. I would like to acknowledge Tim Grumman, Dennis Long, John Kiesler, and Dan Euler for their time and effort in creating past awards. When we can meet again in person, we will be sure to display the awards created for last year, 2020, and this year, 2021. We'd also like to acknowledge and thank the following for their support and contribution to this event. RC Awards, who produced the Truax Outstanding Service Awards for this year. John Kiesler, the artist who created this year's artwork and who we'll hear from later today. The HIV Planning Group staff, who really went above and beyond to make today happen. They've helped coordinate, plan, and just make today a go. So I'd like to thank Delio Ladrone de Guevara, Mylena Buon, Yvette Leva, Dr. Ken Riley, and Rodney Von Yeager. Thank you so much, all of you. And I'd also like to thank Liz Johnson from UCSD and Lori Jones from the HIV, STD, and Hepatitis Branch, who also provided support for today. And now I believe we are going to see a video of previous awards. Okay, thank you. It's always lovely to see those magnificent pieces of art. And now I'd like to introduce my friend and colleague, Dan O'Shea, who will offer us Memoriam in History.
Hi, hello everyone. We continue to remember and appreciate all who have passed on, including past Truax Award recipients. For Brad Truax, Ted Gibbings, Bill Thompson, and for all who have gone before us, let us take a moment of silence to recognize them and the many members of our community who are vulnerable to and living with HIV. Thank you. We'd now like to recognize Dr. Kurt Bice in memoriam as a former colleague and beloved friend. I would like to introduce Dr. Joe Severino from the LGBT Center.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Joe Severino. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I'm a therapist and a supervisor over at the LGBT Community Center. And I just want to thank you all just for allowing me to be here to say a few words about my late friend and colleague, Dr. Kurt Bice. Just to let you know, I met Kurt over 20 years ago when I began my own clinical training at the center as an intern. And Kurt was my supervisor for a number of years. And then, of course, later on, we eventually transitioned to both colleagues and friends. I worked side by side by Kurt for the past 12 years. And I've been speaking a lot about Kurt over the past month or so. And I never get tired of talking about him. What can I tell you about Kurt? Well, those people who knew Kurt knew how much great compassion that Kurt had, and what an outspoken ally he was to the LGBTQ community and to communities of HIV infected and impacted people. You know, Kurt was very outspoken. He was certainly someone who, kind of a person who walked to the beat of his own drum, I would say, but he was fiercely committed to serving our communities. And he strongly advocated for expanding the name of the at the time it was the LGBT Center, I think, or was, and to include T, the transgender part of LGBT. And he really strongly advocated for expanding services, promoting compassionate care and treatment for those communities. Kurt just touched so many lives over his tenure working at the center, clients, community members, and other members or therapists who work out in the community. So I've spoken to so many of his clients who worked with Kurt and just testified to just how present he was for them, and how much he was there for them and how much they valued the relationship they had with him and their treatment. And also, you know, I've talked to so many clinicians who are out there right now in San Diego who are providing services, who went through training at the center, who worked with Kurt, who trained with Kurt, and whose lives were touched by Kurt. So he really just had such a far reach over the years. Anyone who worked with Kurt would know that he would, you know, just drop anything he would just drop everything to help you if he sensed a need. And he was always there to lend support and to feedback to people, and that he was the most happiest when he was serving and treating clients. So Kurt was the first one to arrive at the center at some crazy time in the morning to see clients, and you would have to force him to take a vacation because he was so dedicated to the work, he never wanted to leave. And I know that when he went into semi-retirement, that was really tough for him because his work was so important. I like to imagine, in my fantasies, like if there was like a heaven that Kurt is sitting there in some therapy room with the angels, talking to them, providing them support and counseling. But sadly, on this plane, he is no longer. So he's someone that I know that I will miss greatly, and I think many other people will too. So thank you very much for the time.
Thank you, Dr. Severino. So we're gathered today to recognize community service in the name of Dr. A. Brad Truax. Brad Truax was one of the first physicians in San Diego to treat people with AIDS. He became an advocate for laws to protect people with HIV/AIDS from discrimination and became aware of his own AIDS diagnosis. Under his leadership in the 1980s, the Regional Task Force on AIDS began to coordinate a community-wide response in the fight against the growing HIV/AIDS epidemic. This task of community planning, which Dr. Truax and the task force began, was ultimately taken up by the former HIV Health Services Planning Council, organized in 1990, and the former HIV Care Coalition, organized in 1991, both to address care services provided through the Ryan White Care Act, and the former HIV Prevention Community Planning Board, established in 1995. These planning efforts continue today through the integrated San Diego County HIV Planning Group, which merged together in 2016. Dr. Truax was also an active member of the San Diego Physicians for Human Rights, which coordinated the first organized community campaign to raise funding for HIV/AIDS services and successfully competed to bring the first state money for HIV prevention to San Diego in 1983. Brad Truax exemplified community service even while he was sick with the ravages of the virus. He died from AIDS-related complications in 1988 at the age of 42. His memorial service was attended by hundreds of people. His legacy lives on today in the San Diego County HIV Planning Group, as well as San Diego County's continuum of HIV prevention, care, treatment, and support services for people vulnerable to and living with HIV. In recognition of Brad Truax's outstanding contributions, the Regional Task Force on AIDS established the annual Dr. A. Brad Truax Award in 1989. This award serves to honor individuals for outstanding contributions in the continuing struggle against the HIV/AIDS epidemic in our community. Additionally, an HIV Community Service Award is presented to each nominee. Added in 2008 were the Outstanding Service Truax Awards in 3 categories. 1, HIV education, prevention, and counseling and testing. 2, HIV care, treatment, and support services. And 3, planning, advocacy, and policy development. And now back to our county partners. I'd like to reintroduce my colleague, Lauren Brookshire, Assistant Medical Services Administrator for the HIV, STD, and Hepatitis branch.
Thank you, Dan. On March 1st, 2016, the County of San Diego's Board of Supervisors adopted the Getting to Zero initiative, which seeks to halt the county's HIV epidemic over 10 years. The initiative was based on recommendations of an HIV ad hoc task force back in 2015, which made recommendations to guide the county in 3 main tenets of Getting to Zero, which includes test, treat, and prevent. And this is consistent with the national HIV/AIDS strategies and the current federal Ending the HIV initiative, which began back in 2019. There has been substantial progress made in addressing the HIV epidemic in San Diego County since the start of the Truax Awards. New diagnoses have declined from the all-time high of 1,320 in 1990 to 292 in 2020, which represents a decrease of 78%. We are cautiously optimistic about the decrease in 2020, as it may be a result of the impacts on our services due to COVID-19. But nonetheless, we have seen significant decreases over the last few years. Moreover, deaths among persons living with HIV have declined from an all-time high of 752 in 1994 down to 72 in 2020, which represents a decrease of 90%. Great progress has been made. However, HIV continues to be a major public health concern in San Diego County. To accomplish the goal of getting to 0 new infections, support from our community and the HIV planning group continues to be essential. We'll now hear from the chair of the HIV planning group, Mikey Lochner, who was our Truax Award recipient in 2014. Mikey.
I would like to invite anyone interested in bringing the voice of our community to our planning efforts by joining our local San Diego County HIV planning group. Please contact support staff or visit the HIV planning group website, www.sdplanning.org, to fill out an application which will be added into the chat. Now let us join our esteemed former recipients of the A. Brad Truax Award in our HIV community to announce the recipients of the 2021 HIV Community Service Awards in recognition of their dedication, efforts, and service. These individuals are also nominees for one or more of the Outstanding Service Truax Awards, as well as the overall Dr. A. Brad Truax Award. Before we begin to announce the Community Service Awardees for 2021, I'd like to acknowledge all those present with us and those that could not make it for taking the time to nominate a peer, colleague, or community member. The selection committee of former Truax recipients were deeply moved by the appreciation, admiration, and love expressed in all the nominations. On behalf of the community, please note that all these nominees are winners. I would like to introduce Liz Johnson, a previous Truax Award recipient.
Hi, thank you, Mikey. Tonight, we are excited to introduce you to the 13 HIV Community Service Award nominees. As we announce their names and accomplishments, we encourage you to include any comments or kudos in chat for each of them. The 2021 HIV Community Service Award recipients, in mostly alphabetical order, are as follows. Marilyn Armenta. Marilyn is the first to greet visitors and always does so with a cheerful demeanor. She helps people feel secure and supported. When she speaks with them during an intake or reassessment, she refers them to other services such as food, transportation, or housing, as well as case management if they require additional assistance. Marilyn is in constant communication with the case management and medical team and has helped reconnect clients who have been out of care. She goes above and beyond for clients and is always advocating for them. Congratulations, Marilyn. The next recipient is Michaela Blackman. Michaela has impacted the community to help prevent HIV by working directly with Planned Parenthood of the Southwest. She provides quick enrollment, authorization, and solutions for uninsured clients to facilitate their immediate start of PEP or PrEP. She takes time to counsel and educate people on the importance of prevention and offers empathy, counseling, resources, and additional options for patients who are looking for support. I'd now like to turn it over to Mary Caffrey, another previous Truax Award recipient.
Thank you, Liz, and thank you for everyone who's joining us today. It's my great pleasure to acknowledge Tamalita Cotlan-Pineda. Tamalita is a long-standing member of the HIV Care Partnership and has been an integral part of planning the Women's Voice Conference for many years. She has demonstrated her profound commitment to women and youth living with HIV through service and is always ready to lend a cheerful and helping hand for community events, as well as events for the Mother, Child, and Adolescent program at UCSD MemCap. Tammy's genuine warmth and care are visible to clients and all community partners. During the pandemic, she took on an additional role, an important one, fielding calls for the UC San Diego Moderna clinical trial, supporting the community, which included people living with HIV, to gain access to participating in clinical trials and ultimately access to life-saving vaccines. Tammy has served MCAP and the community for more than 23 years and is connected to generations of families served by the MCAP program. She has truly demonstrated a profound commitment and incredible support and care for our community. Next, I'd like to acknowledge Guadalupe Escalante. Guadalupe works diligently to help hard-to-reach clients get tested for HIV. She delivers food packages for San Isidro Health clients and follows up with important phone calls, ensuring that their needs are being met and all of their questions have been answered. Guadalupe also helps clients with emotional issues and labors to help them feel most comfortable, especially those who are highly vulnerable and those who have fears and worries living with HIV. Nicholas Lagunas. Nicholas, also from San Isidro Health, works as the prevention and assistant manager, serving many vulnerable populations, including Latinx. He is a new member of the HIV planning group to support statewide planning and manages several state, federal, and locally funded HIV prevention programs. His work encompasses supporting programs that offer PrEP, including providing resources on payment programs for the medications taken daily for HIV prevention. San Isidro Health was the first enrollment center and provider site for the California Department of Health funded PrEP programs to cover costs associated with PrEP. Nicholas goes way above and beyond the call of duty to improve prevention services throughout the county of San Diego. And he's always looking for better options to offer his clients and the staff members he supports. Nicholas is admired by his colleagues, collaborative partners, funders, and most importantly, his clients. I'd now like to ask Dan O'Shea, a previous Truax Award recipient, back to present the next nominees.
Great, thank you, Mary. And I see I'm not unmuted. I'm muted this time, so good. First of all, Kenyatta Parker. I'm pleased to acknowledge her as a nominee. She's been very active in the community since 2010, volunteering at HIV/AIDS health-related events and working in partnership with AIDS service organizations. She began this important work at Vista Community Clinic in 2010 as an HIV health educator, assisting in the planning, development, and implementation of programs, strategies, and goals. Additionally, she has actively participated in planning programs and events for the San Diego Faith-Based Action Coalition, where she now serves as vice chair. Kenyatta repeatedly goes above and beyond what is required to get things done by actively planning for Faith-Based Action Coalition events. She does this with much vigor and professionalism mixed with a unique, affable friendliness by offering smiles, words of encouragement, and support to everyone. Congratulations to Kenyatta. Next is Ruben Quesada. Ruben has been supporting the HIV community for more than 18 years. He has volunteered at every Pride, AIDS Walk, National Latino AIDS Awareness Day, National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day, and fundraising events too numerous to count in San Diego County. He is passionate about educating and empowering conservative and very traditional monolingual Spanish-speaking members of our community to understand his lived experience with HIV. After the loss of family members to HIV, Ruben has made it a life mission to eliminate stigma, fear, and misconceptions about HIV in the Latinx community by sharing his story and that of his family with people who are hesitant about getting an HIV test. Congratulations to Ruben. And now I'd like to turn it over to Jay Reed, who was the 2018 Truax Award winner.
Thank you, Dan. First off, hey, everybody. First off, I'd like to acknowledge Jaime Rodriguez. Jaime is a longtime strong advocate for all people living with HIV, who serves in numerous capacities in our community. Jaime has a vivacious, friendly, and positive personality and works diligently above and beyond to assist clients who are looking for care, treatment, and supportive services. In addition to the services offered at Christie's Place, he also coordinates assistance and services with other providers throughout San Diego County as an early intervention service associate in this role. He is a first point of contact for the EIS Center and facilitates access to EIS Women, Children, and Family Services. He provides information, referrals, linkages to medical care, and other needed services, including HIV testing and benefit counseling. He takes the lead on distributing personal hygiene products to clients. Jaime has been the face of Christie's Place for several years, and during the pandemic, his role has been more important than ever. His dedication, charisma, warm welcome, even if it's only on the phone, is contagious. He has contributed to lifting clients excuse me, to lifting clients' spirits and providing a glimpse of hope during these uncertain times. Congratulations, Jaime. Next up is Jeremiah Ruiz. Jeremiah began in HIV prevention as a volunteer with the In the Mix program, which is specific to young men who have sex with men of color. After many years of volunteering in the field, he now supervises CDC programs at Family Health Centers of San Diego, in which he formerly participated. During the pandemic, clients were linked to the services. Many clients have noted that the isolation they were experiencing while sheltering in place was relieved by his work. Thoughtful, creative, motivating, and kind are just a few of the many words that clients use to describe Jeremy and his work in the community. Congratulations, Jeremiah. Next, we have Diana Schmidt. Oh, Deanna. Diana cares for patients by linking with medical care and helping them to feel included. She began her career in HIV patient management 10 years ago, working for a pharmacy. From the beginning, Deanna learned that caring for persons living with or vulnerable to HIV is much more than providing medical care. It requires listening and inclusivity. She has channeled her energy towards listening to women in our community who are on the margin, victims of sex trafficking and domestic violence, as well as the homeless, and has initiated activities that strengthen a sense of belonging. She works diligently to bring women into care in a manner that does not stigmatize. Often starting with engagement activities such as Zumba classes, she goes on to provide additional education on various health issues. Over the past several years, she has been involved in numerous board of directors in AIDS services organizations throughout San Diego County, including AIDS Walk, Being Star San Diego, and as an AIDS Task Force Coalition board member. Congratulations, Deanna. Next up is Liliana Trejo. Liliana provides top quality case management services to clients with dignity, respect, and assets, and assists them in overcoming barriers to receiving and maintaining medical care. She goes above and beyond the call to link clients with information and resources for HIV education, HIV prevention, and support services. She links clients to services such as mental health, adherence, education, risk reduction, and connects them to the healthcare network so that they receive patient-centered care that promotes a healthy lifestyle. She has raised money and contributed to help provide shoes, clothes, and other basic necessities to clients, especially during the pandemic. Congratulations. Next up is Edwin Valentine. Edwin keeps track of his clients' medical needs and calls to remind them of upcoming appointments and to arrange medical transportation when needed. He has been able to assist He has been able to assist newly diagnosed clients to remain in care and adhere to treatment. He has helped several clients who began either newly diagnosed or out of care to go on to graduate from case management services. He refers clients to needed services, particularly coordinating medical care, mental health, and substance use services. He is an advocate for clients and goes above and beyond for them. Edwin provides outstanding customer service and is an excellent role model for all case managers. Congratulations. Next, we have Dennis Vega. Dennis has provided HIV testing outreach with such an outgoing and positive attitude that clients feel warmly invited. He is always ready to educate individuals, groups, and the community during outreach, teaching basic HIV education, including safe sex techniques and responding to questions. He has a particular rapport with teens and seems to effortlessly reach out to them. But we know this takes an inviting personality and special skills. He can easily speak with clients and always find something nice to say, which helps to focus people's attention so that he can take the opportunity to tell them about HIV and testing. With that, I will return the program back to Mikey Lochner. You're still muted.
Thank you, Jay. Sorry about that. The recipients are representatives of the 2020 Truax Outstanding Service Awards will present the winners for the 2021 Outstanding Service Awards in each awarded category. I would like to introduce Marvin Hanashiro, the winner of last year's award, to present the HIV Planning Group Award. This will be followed by a certificate from the Office of Chair Nathan Fletcher, San Diego Board of Supervisors.
Thanks, Mikey, and good afternoon, everyone. As the 2020 recipient for HIV education, prevention, and counseling and testing, it is my honor to announce this year's recipient of the HIV education, prevention, and counseling and testing Truax Award is Nicholas Lagunas. So while we bring Nicholas up, first we're going to have present a certificate of recognition from the County of San Diego is Ana Laura Martinez, Community Representative.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. On behalf of the San Diego County Board of Supervisors, Chair Nathan Fletcher, we recognize Nicolas Lagunas for their service in HIV education, prevention, and counseling. As a program assistant manager, their contributions to improve services are invaluable for our county. Thank you for all that you do, and we'll make sure you'll get your certificate.
Thank you, Anna. And if we have Nicholas, we want to give Nicholas a chance to say a few words.
Hello, very unexpected. I want to say thank you to everyone. I mean, this really does mean a lot because this is very impactful work that we all do, and took me very much by surprise. So I'm a little shocked and a little nervous because I wasn't expecting to speak. So thank you to everyone, and I hope all of us continue to do the work that is needed to continue doing this and to end the epidemic. So thank you all.
Well, congrats, Nicholas. And so now I would like to ask Jay Rebeck to present.
Thank you, Marvin. Okay, we want to thank the 2020 recipient, Alfonso Casada, who is unable to be with us to present today. It is my honor to announce this year's recipient of the HIV Care Treatment and Support Service Truax Award to my girl, Tamalita Cotlin Pineda. So Tammy is here. You'd like say a few words, and then we'll have a certificate presentation. Oh no, we'll have the certificate first.
And on behalf of the San Diego County Board of Supervisor Chair Nathan Fletcher, we recognize Tamalita Cotland Pineda for their service in HIV care, treatment, and support services. Tamalita has ensured the mother-child adolescent program continues to be a safe and welcoming home for all clients to care for, as we heard, and has played an integral role in supporting many youth and women. Thank you for all you've done, Tamalita.
And if Tamalita is here, would you like to say a few words?
I just want to say thank you to everyone. I feel us as a team, we're stronger, and I love what I do. I love the people.
Tamalita, you muted yourself.
I
There
don't
we
know
go.
how I did that. Maybe I'm just nervous, but thank you all so very much for the team effort and for the support. And like I said, I love what I do and hope and pray I can continue on to do this. Thank you.
All right, congratulations, Tamalita. And now I would like to turn it back over to Liz Johnson to present.
Thank you, Jay, and congratulations to Nicholas and Tamalita. We also want to thank our 2020 recipient, Kim March, who is unfortunately unable to be here with us today to present. So I get the great honor of announcing this year's recipient of the Planning, Advocacy, and Policy Development Truax Award, Jeremiah Ruiz. Congratulations, Jeremiah. And as they bring you onto the stage, so to speak, returning to present the certificate of recognition from the County of San Diego is Anna.
And again, on behalf of the San Diego County Board of Supervisors, Chair Nathan Fletcher, we recognize Jeremiah for their service and HIV planning, advocacy, and policy development, especially having played an integral role in ensuring BIPOC folks have a place in HIV care. Thank you for all that you've done, Jeremiah.
Hi, everyone. Oh, am I on? Yeah, wow, I'm just shocked and honored to receive this. I did not expect this. And yeah, I'm just really amazed at all the work that everyone has done in this community and around the world. And, you know, it's not over. We still have to keep going, and there's lots of work to be doing. Just looking at the numbers, they're still there. We're still, as mentioned earlier, in a public health crisis. And I'm just thankful to everybody that I learned from in this field. I walked into family health centers as a young man with very little knowledge about HIV. And I'm just thankful to these programs and learning from them and all the past health educators that I've learned from that gave me that information and that I've been able to implement that to everybody. So thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Great. Thank you so much, Jeremiah, and congratulations again. I'm going to turn the program back over to Mikey Lochner.
Thank you, Liz. And I want to congratulate Jeremiah, Tamalita, and I want to forget the other winner. And I'm sorry, I'm bad with names here. So give me a second, and I will say Tamalita, and that was Nicholas. Thank you, guys. You guys are you're all winners. And we are now going to see a video from John Kiesler, who is the artist of this year's 2021 Brad Truax Award. So I will turn it over to the video.
I'm John Kiesler, and my pronouns are he and his. It is a real honor to offer my artwork for the 2021 Dr. A. Brad Truax Award. Before we unveil the artwork, let's take a quick look back at the artist with whom I've shared this privilege. Tim Grumman was the first Truax Award artist in 1989, presenting his painting to Dr. Chris Matthews at the first Truax Award ceremony. Painter Dennis Wong followed Tim from 1990 to 1993. Tim and Dennis were part of an emerging out gay art scene. I met them through AIDS Art Alive, art salons for people living with AIDS. Tim and Dennis would both be lost to AIDS in the early 90s. In 1994, I was asked to create my first award, a painting entitled Hand of Night. I would continue to create the award until 2008, when I passed the baton on to Dan Euler. I knew Dan from the Office of AIDS Coordination. Dan is an accomplished stained glass artist and created a succession of 10 beautiful awards. 3 years ago, when Dan relocated to New York, I was again asked to share my work with the Truax recipients. This year's award emerges from more than 15 years of work in ceramics. Like last year's, it is again based on the pre-pagan Green Man visage. The Green Man is seen in the masonry of many European churches. In various forms, they can also be found in the ancient Americas, Asia, and Africa. They are still seen at spring festivals as a herald of the end of winter and of the renewal of natural life. They symbolize the circle of life, death, and rebirth. The Green Man is a secret guardian and an unseen companion on the road of life. This year's piece offers the ebony face for unlimited potential of our times and leaves of the 6 traditional rainbow colors for the inclusiveness of our work and study. Thank you again for accepting this humble work.
And I just want to say thank you, John Kiesler, for a beautiful piece of award for the Dr. Brad Truax Award. And at this time, I now would like to invite Jim Dunn, who is our recipient of the 31st Dr. A. Brad Truax Award, to announce this year's recipient.
Thank you, Mikey. As last year's Dr. A. Brad Truax Award recipient, it is with great pleasure that I present the 32nd Dr. A. Brad Truax Award for outstanding contribution in all the above mentioned categories to Ruben Quesada. Again, Anna is going to present the certificate from the Board of Supervisors.
On behalf of the San Diego County Board of Supervisor, Chair Nathan Fletcher, we recognize Ruben Quesada as a Dr. A. Brad Truax recipient. Ruben's life mission to eliminate stigma, fear, and misconception of HIV in the Latinx community is invaluable. Thank you for all the work you've done, Ruben.
And I don't know whether Ruben's with us or not, but if he is, would you like to say a few words, Ruben?
We just received the chat saying that Ruben is actually coming home from work, so he might not be able to unmute. But on behalf of Carla Quesada Torres, he thanks everyone on the committee for nominating him.
Thanks, Jim. We'll go ahead and go on.
Okay, we would like to thank all of you for your continued work and commitment and for being here this afternoon. As we leave this Zoom room, may we always remember the call to continue our work in this spirit of community. I would like to invite you all to join us for the 30th annual tree lighting ceremony sponsored by Mama's Kitchen starting at 6 p.m. in Village Hillcrest. Please see the link in the chat for additional information if you would like to attend this in-person event. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here for the Brad Truax Award 2021 ceremony.